usual. Hello there, and welcome to episode 70 of my series, where I try to play the maps of the towns, urban cities, areas, and cities of Norway perfectly on Geoguessr. That is, to get a 25,000 point score on Geoguessr for each of the mentioned. Today we have made it to the town of Brumunddal, or Dala, as the locals will call it, i.e. the valley. So Brumunddal is the valley of Brumund. It sits here on the shore of Lake Mjøsa, the largest lake in Norway, and between the Olympic cities, the Winter Olympic cities of 1994 of Hamar and Lillehammer, Gjøvik on the other side of the lake was also part of the venues back then, which Brumunddal saw nothing of. Now, Brumunddal has been pretty much an industrial site for quite some time. So there have been flour mills and sawmills for several centuries here, although it didn't start growing into a small town until the railroad came here and through here in 1894. And since then it's been growing steadily, and today has sort of, well, gone under the radar, so to speak, and grown into a town of 11,000 people, which is quite respectable by Norwegian standards. So, and most people don't notice much of Brumunddal. They drive past it on the E6 or sit on the train through it. So it will be interesting to see what it's like. I guess it is quite dominated by the river running through, which obviously was the source of power for the various mills back in the day. And they're still doing a lot of industry here, mainly related to wood, processing of wood, and making farming equipment, etc. There's a lot of farming going on in this area around the city, around the town. So yeah, let's have a look at Brumunddal. Well, my previous attempt at Brumunddal was a fairly short one. Let's see if we can match that. Okay. Well, I am fairly sure that most of the houses in this area have not traveled very far during when the prefabricated modules were made, as both Brumunddal and nearby Moelv are big on prefabrication of house modules. Let's see, that was one of my little white sign friends over there, and this one you could actually read. It's the 84, but all the roads here are names, so that doesn't help in the slightest. But I have a feeling we might be on this Furnes road. Could we actually be over here? Nedkvernvegen, the lower grindstone or middle road. Smedbergsvegen. Okay, so Smith Hill Road. Yeah, it runs perpendicular here, or parallel rather. And there's a pathway coming up here, yes. And then it twists again, yes. And we have this bit coming down here. Right, so we were on this thing. And that's the Østgård Road, this one, the Eastern Farm Road, or East Farm Road. And we're looking at the second of these houses. Oh, hang on, don't be too hasty. It says a garage, a house, and a house. So that makes it the third of the buildings. So garage, house, outhouse. And I think that is fairly good. Ketten. Okay, whoa, that's a big building. And that is a... Oh, right, yeah, and I went to do a big monologue about the thing we just see beyond the bridge here. And I might as well mention it right away. So let's just move on to the bridge here so we get a proper look at it. So back in 1994, the Winter Olympics were held in Lillehammer, which is nearby. Lillehammer is up here, and Brumunddal is here. And amongst the venues were, and also the city of Hamar and the city of Gjøvik also held some of the events. And one of the things that nations tend to do when they are hosting the Olympic Games is to show off their architecture and what is unique about it, or specific about it, or whatever. And what is quite ubiquitous about Norwegian architecture is the use of wood. So, like for instance, I built a huge this thing down here called a Viking ship, and then was the speed skating arena, which they built and was built more or less entirely, the structure at least, of wood, which is quite an impressive building. And they have since also wanted to show that you can actually build high-rises out of wood, so they don't have to be all glass and concrete and iron or steel. So this is this thing down here. So that was sort of part of the statement that you can do this in wood. Now, that means we are... Is there actually a river going across there, or are we looking at this thing? Well, whatever we are down here somewhere. And you're right, so we are somewhere there, aren't we? What's a building we can't see? Is that misalignment, or was it? What is it? I think my placement isn't all that bad. Let's see. Yeah, there's some severe misalignment here amongst the layers. So I have to stay confident that that the road is actually doing the stuff it's supposed to. And we are just as this bend has started slightly, well, or after it starts going tighter. And this thing, I'm looking at the divider here. We're sort of a third along it, aren't we? So, there. Okay, well, that was too far for comfort, but okay. Still safe. This must be sort of-ish downtownish. That is one ugly building. Sorry, you guys should have built that out of wood instead. I hope, like these ones. A lot nicer. So what do we have here? We got some garden furniture. Hageland, okay. Nordåsveien Gardening Center. Okay, so Nordåsveien, is it that road or is it this road? This seems to be leading sort of downtownish, or at least around about downtownish. The Mill. Shopping mall. I'm getting really coffee today. Northeast. So let's see. That's the Mill shopping mall, and heading north. Okay, so okay. A car dealership. That doesn't quite match, does it? Let's see. But that's the Mill, and no, this is the way. So we're somewhere over here. Ooh. Right. So that is this bit. I think. But let's see, perpendicular we are looking. Okay. South. We're looking about there, aren't we? This is another one of those I'm not very comfortable with, but well, no cause for panic on that one, fortunately. Okay, out in suburbia again. There's a road here. Evenrustykje. Okay. So a piece of the farm that Even cleared someday back in antiquity. We're moving northeast. We're moving uphill. Røyslevegen, and this is the Narud Road. Okay, let's see if we can find the Narud Road. That should be the most. It has the Narud Road. That's quite long. There's Evenrustykje, and this is the Røysli Road, which is that one. Okay, back to where we started. And that's the Evenrustykje, right? Yep. And then we have this tiny thing here, must be that one. Oh yeah, and we're standing right on this thing. What is it called? Birkesveien 28. So the birch. Sve is a bit hard to translate right off the bat, but it has something to do with birches, and there are a few here, as well as alders and rowans. So yeah. Anyways, that should be good placement, and it was. Oh, I thought we were done. We weren't. Okay. Right. So here we are, right next to the E6. So there's a number of places we could be. But let's see if we can identify. There's a Tesla down there, and an Auto Benz. Oh, here we go. So that's a Tesla. And there's a road up to the side here. Let's see. That's a storage thing. That's the road going down next to the Tesla. Okay, let's just keep an eye on that yacht. So Tesla is down here. Then we got this road going underneath the E6. So we have this building. And then there's this building, which means that we're somewhere along this one. And I'd say we are pretty darn center on it. So there, maybe. Cool. There we go. That is Brumunddal in the bag, and I was quite happy with the spread we got here. It's gives us a nice little image of this industrial community. Well, we didn't get to see a lot of the industry, but sort of it. It's sort of located down here-ish, and some on the outskirts as well. So it was a fairly balanced round, which is good. So I think that was episode 7. Please check in tomorrow for the next episode, which then should be episode 71. So until then, bye bye.